This is Political Arena on S24 Television. I am your host, Abuakari. We will be speaking about the Nigerian Democratic Congress, whereby it zoned its presidential ticket to the south, and big names like Peter Obi, Rabiu Konkoso may likely be the candidate that will emerge as the presidential flag bearer of the NDC. This afternoon, I am joined by a medical practitioner and a politician at the same time who recently defected from the ruling party to the opposition party, Dr. Ebering. Welcome to Political Arena on S24 Television.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here today.
It's a pleasure speaking to you.
Same here.
How is your new political party?
Very good, very good. Meeting up my expectations.
So what's the rationale behind zoning its own presidential ticket to the south?
So one of the founding principles and the principles of the NDC, it's equity and integrity. So equity because it's important to give all sections of this country
belonging,
a fair chance at leadership. So we know that the northern part has done their 8 years, the southern part has done 4 out of their 8 years, and that is why the NDC did not just zone it to the south, but we had to amend our constitution with a term. In fact, the term that was used was irrevocable one-term approach, one term for the president. So, and the president, the flag bearer, Mr. Peter Obi, has committed to running one term. In fact, he says, even though you put a gun.
Don't you know that this is just a political gimmick?
No.
That is not different. Because we have seen situations whereby Atiku Abubakar promised that.
So you're not going to compare a personality of Atiku Abubakar. It's like comparing, I don't know what, to this thing. Peter Obi has been someone that has been extremely consistent. In fact, he's one person that if the ruling party can send a combined team of DSS, NIA, and EFCC to track him down, but they've searched and they cannot find. So he's someone that has high level of integrity. In fact, for us that are coming to the NDC, we're even trying to learn from him in terms of being a man that is straightforward. And I think it's also important to know some of the factors that gives us confidence that he'll keep to his words, right?
You have been calling about Peter Obi.
Yeah, so one of the things is that if you look at his lifestyle, he's very simple. If you go to the airport, if you use the airport often, you'd have even run into him using the normal business class or the normal passenger airlines rather than drive. He's extremely rich. He can afford to drive a private jet. So when you see someone that is contented, right, and humble, it's highly unlikely that he's going to go against his word to run for one tenure, because what drives people to go for multiple tenure, it's most times in the context of Nigeria, greed. Although I must also balance the perspective, because sometimes
Nigerians are out there, they are watching, because Nigerians, to their own belief, is that what Peter Obi said is pure politics.
No, but I tell you that it's not pure politics, because I know that man is a man of integrity. He would rather not say it, but if he has said it, he will do it.
But you know, sometimes talking is easier than doing.
And then our party, the NDC, has also gone a step higher forward to amend the constitution to say that it's irrevocable. The word that they used, I was at a convention here in Abuja, and the word they used was irrevocable. So it means that you can't come tomorrow and change that one term for the South.
All right. What makes EDC different from other political parties?
Because we keep to our words. And I've seen it. I've not been there for too long, but so far so good. They keep to their words. And we also lined up behind a man of integrity, a man who has shown that he can do it in Anambra, who has shown between the time he was in Anambra till now, he has shown with his private resources in terms of the donations he has made to schools, to hospitals. He has shown that he's someone who puts his money where his mouth is. And we believe that when now given that mantle as the president of this country is going to do it, that's the difference. One of our biggest sell in the NDC is our flag bearer, Mr. Peter Obi.
Let's a little bit personal.
Yes.
You wanted to be there. You wanted to represent your people.
Yes.
At the Green Chamber. What gave you that inspiration? Someone that started from the medical line. What inspired you to join politics? With the way politicians are painting people, with the way politicians are showing that politics is just a dirty game. What drives you toward that? So
I must say that when I thought about, and this is not the first time I attended in 2019, but I couldn't get the ticket then. So what, I'm someone that I don't like when things are not going right. And prior to this time, I used to complain a lot. In fact, when I was in University of Port Harcourt, I actually led a protest. So I had that civil, but I observed something, right? If you look at the history of civil rights activists in Nigeria, when they agitate, when they riot, when they protest, they make a little change, and for a time it fizzles out, right? But when you look at some leaders who have come up to make great change in their community, right? They really make big change that stands the test of time, unless when subsequent leadership over time refuses to build on that, right? We've seen some states where we had a governor who did really well and opened up the states, right? So I thought about it that instead of just being there complaining, reading protest, why don't I come in and seek for a public sector position and then make real change? And I started when I pleaded with the current minister so that I want to work with him. And he gave me opportunity. And while I was there, I was able to support him in developing policies around youth health, about youth development. And now I feel that I should then go back to my people who, in my own opinion, have been having poor representation here in at the National Assembly. The current person was literally absent, and then just few months ago, or even weeks ago, he now did what they call mother of all empowerment. And what was mother of all empowerment? If you have been there for the last 2 or 3 years, and you're supposed to bring quarterly empowerment to your people, and you decide to be absent for the last 2 years, and then you take the last 2 quarters, put it together and do a show. And when I was following up with my people, they even told me that some of the items that they brought to the field and did the media razzmatazz, at the end, they told them that, oh, the crowd is too much, that they will take it back. And later they will give them up. Till now, they've not.
That was a trick.
That was a trick. And this is not something I stand with. I'll keep to my word. Every quarter, I'll have an engagement with my people. And what is due them would come to them. That is a promise. And I'm making this promise here on air.
Well, your people are watching you.
Yes.
Okay, what stands you differently from other politicians? Because we have seen many situations whereby politicians promise heaven, but if they enter into power, they unleash hell.
I mean, as something I tell people to do in the build-up to this election is look at the history and the pedigree of those who are coming, who are putting themselves forward.
Scorecard.
Yes. Look at what I've done. My LinkedIn is there, right? You can check about my professional history. And then even my service. Over the last 16 months, I've served at the public sector, supporting the minister, right? Look at what I've been able to achieve, even with zero budget, right? Zero budget. And imagine when you elect me. And then beyond that, even before I started working with the minister, when in my public health role, I've supported policymakers in the National Assembly. In fact, one of the deputy chair of the Committee on Health of the House of Reps, Honorable Mohammed Usman, is someone I supported so well. He's still my friend up till now. So I'm not even going there with a zero experience. I've had experience supporting a serving legislator in the Green Chamber, in the Health Committee. And I believe that with that experience I've garnered, I'm able to go there, make laws, carry out oversight, and then bring dividends of democracy to my people.
You mean you're fit for what you are buying for?
Yes, I'm fit. I have the experience.
Okay. What policies do you have for women and youth in your constituency?
So
remember, they are watching you.
Yeah, they are watching me, and I'm Abuakari Ikebe. Now, my people in Bitoli Kedu Federal Constituency, right? I mean, what they want is greater opportunities, right? We need to find a way to attract more, to make laws that attract more industries, more public-private partnership, right? More, how do we revolutionalize the agricultural sector to make sure that there are opportunities for young people, make sure that the agri-allied industries are springing up in those communities, right? How do we make sure that we have legislation that curbs some of the unhealthy practices? Something that is common in my place right now is a lot of young people are into hard drugs. A lot of people are into gambling.
Social vices. Social
vices, right? There are rules you can put. There are laws you can put. I schooled in the UK. There are rules that kind of prevent some of the negative effects of gambling, that dissuades people from taking those drugs, right? And how do you even carry out oversight on those MDAs that should be doing this work to ensure that our people in local communities are not suffering? How do you even create opportunities for them, right? Access to health care, right? Education. And education should not just be about formal education. In the past, we used to have a lot of technical schools, right? Where are those technical schools? How can we revive them, right? What are those things that we can do to give people sense of belonging? What Nigerians need in this country is not a lot.
What is your final take to Nigerians who seems to lose hope in the political system in just 1 minute?
Please don't give up. You don't even have any other option, because if you give up, it can get worse. If you think that you've suffered so much in the last 4 years, know that if you don't take part to make change in 2027, what you're going to get from 2027 upwards is suffering pro max. So the only option you have at this moment is use your power. Your power is your PVC. Make sure you have your PVC in a place that is close to where you can access during election day. On election day, against all odds, go out there and vote. Avoid any inducement, because no inducement is what the suffering the next 4 years. And at the end, vote your conscience, vote the right person, and ask politicians hard questions, because you don't want them to give you fake promises and you continue this suffering. Remember,
thank you so much, Doctor.
If you don't vote right, it's suffering promise in the next 4 years.
Thank you so much, Doctor. It's a pleasure speaking to you here on S24 Political Arena.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here too.
And that is all what we have on S24 Political Arena.